He straightened, still holding her chair, and lifted her as if doing no more than standing, then set her upright. Okay, under the armor, he's just an alien and a king, and laughably strong, but also just a guy? Thank you, she mumbled as he reached for the band at her wrist. His face was close now, yet all she could make out below the mask was the pale, chiseled line of his jaw. Her breath caught when his gloved finger ran over the small indentations she'd left in the leather straps on her wrists. His eerie gaze lifted to hers in a silent question. She chewed on her lip, building the courage to explain, but he put it together himself before she could. His focus drifted between her mouth and the marks on the leather. The line of his jaw tensed further. She'd been gnawing on the straps like an animal, trying to bite her way free. Too bad she didn't have fangs like the Vrulins, or she might have been successful. A choked squeak of pain escaped when he loosened the band and pulled the leather off her blistered skin a little too roughly. Any remaining wisps of softness that clung to him fled. She tried to pull her now free hand away, but he held it firm and turned it slowly, examining the damage. His eyes glowed a little brighter. "Thank you," she said pointedly, pulling her wrist from under his scrutiny. A deep, non-committal rumble sounded in his throat. His gaze lingered where her hand had been for a few moments before he slid his plated gloves off. Her eyes caught on his hands as he tossed his gloves onto the ground. So severe. Pale skin, almost the shade of bone in the blue light, was decorated with thick black designs. They were geometric and harsh, and somehow made his long fingers appear as if they could crush stone. Though his movements were vastly gentler, Sophia still bit back a wince when he peeled the other leather strap away. On instinct, she almost thanked him again, but clamped down on the words before they got out. She'd literally said nothing to him except thank you, which was ridiculous considering he was the one who'd ordered her to be locked up in the first place. "Where's the rest of my group?" she asked, her voice containing the merest whisper of demand. Her nerves won out when he froze while peering at her reddened skin, and she added, Your Majesty." His gaze lifted to her, but he didn't appear angry, more surprised. After a tense moment of silence, he answered, "Gone." Warm, deep, and smooth. Sophia's brain didn't have time to process how a voice like that could emerge from a man like this when he sank to one knee before her.